Strap yourselves in. It's not going to be pretty. Hello and welcome to Up the Villa podcast. Do me a favour. Do me a favour for that journey to Newcastle and back at 10 past 12 today. Do me a favour. Show me some support and give me a subscribe. Drop this video a like and get in the comment sections your thoughts on Newcastle United 5, Aston Villa 1. Still bitterly disappointed. I kind of feel like hopefully we could have had a Carabao Cup game to just get it out of our system and move on. But we've gotten a week today until the next game. So, yeah, bitterly frustrated, really annoyed. Sort of lost for words / a bit numb in the head of what went on and what happened. So, like always, I'm going to be as brutally as honest. I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to offer my thoughts on what I saw from Newcastle 5, Aston Villa 1. And that's the context that I'm going to give my thoughts in based on the performance that I have just watched. So, first of all, team news. When the team news came out yesterday, I was, what would the word be? Very confused. I was very confused at when the team came out, and very worried. When I saw this team stood in the gods at Newcastle in the concourse, and this team dropped, I was very worried because I just saw problems all over this starting lineup. And I would say that this is the first time since Unai Emery's been here that I've looked at a starting lineup and thought, I'm a bit worried with this. I'm not sure you've got this right. And, you know, I'm a fan. I'm able to question why our manager might possibly do things, but it would be the first time that I've looked at something and I thought there's a big problem here. So we know that Newcastle press very high, very aggressive. My issue with the lineup was the right-hand side. Now, if we go and fundamentally we know how we play, so Luke Dean's going to go forward. This is going to sort of tuck in a little bit. But where you need protection is in this area here. This player, so just because it's Bailey, don't think I'm going in on him. But this player here has to offer the protection to the right back. That is what this player will, in essence, have to do. Because, in essence, this player is offering... You're basically in a 4-4-2. We're in a 4-4-2 box when we play this system. But the player here, yes, has to come inside and offer something here. But he also has to come here and protect the same as what this player has to do as well at the same time. And when I saw Leon Bailey in this position, I was very worried. I was very worried as well that we'd gone from something that we hadn't seen us do all pre-season, really, in the sense of we've gone with 3 centre-backs and enabled this Luca Dean to push forward, and we've looked more like that. So by playing the way we did yesterday, we sort of eradicate that, where I think we have more strength, more control. We look defensively sound. But what we did do yesterday is we went back to what we were doing last season, which was fine. But I just felt like in this game we were going to get overrun, and the 1v1s, whether it was a 1v1 here with Cash and Gordon or a 1v1 with Dean and Almiron, I just felt like we were going to get caught. My other problem that I had as well is maybe we should have gone with that, like a McGinn on this side, a McGinn up against a Joelinton, a McGinn that can sort of help out a little bit more and give us more protection on that right-hand side. But what I saw in the game was we were just bullied. We were absolutely bullied. You know, Joe Linton plays number 7. Joe Linton plays on the left hand side of their 3 midfield, and this area here, Joe Linton all game absolutely destroyed us. But what I did see him do, Joe Linton, was when, like, off the ball, he was grabbing Kamara's shirt. He was roughing Kamara up. Dan Burn on a corner was roughing McGinn up. We were getting roughed up all over the pitch. Like, they were so aggressive, and we had nothing for their aggression, and that was part of the problem. So part of the problem for me was that starting lineup. It was a lineup that got roughed up on the right hand side, and we got bullied. And I think that lineup was wrong, in my opinion. I think we should have gone with something different. We should have gone with something that we mirrored in pre-season. So what I want to show you is something about some slides from the game as well. So we're talking about this right-hand side and areas where we have had problems in this game. So Anthony Gordon has actually cut inside now. Gordon has cut inside, and he's gave the ball back here. He's gave the ball to this player. Now, Gordon is on that sort of half turn on the shoulder of Bailey. The ball's been slipped into that area there. And Gordon has played a lofted ball, and there's been a runner from Tonali that's gone in, and it's 1-0. We have 2 players here on the right-hand side who need to deal with this ball. Cash is looking at the ball. Cash is looking at the player. So Cash's eyes aren't on Bailey and Gordon. Cash is expecting Bailey to deal with Gordon. Gordon isn't Cash's man. Gordon is Bailey's man. Because Cash is looking at, I think this must be Joe Linton with the ball. He's looking at the player with the ball. Why does Leon Bailey let Gordon have a run on his shoulder and not track Gordon on that right-hand side? Bailey does not track Gordon. Bailey lets Gordon go. It looks a mess. Lofted ball into the box, and it's 1-0. And this stems all from that right-hand side. And that's what I'm saying about the lineup. There's not a savvy player in there defensively to help out Matty Cash at all. And we're 1-0 down after 6 minutes. Having started the game okay with a bit of possession. I thought the first 5, we started to get in our rhythm and sort of control possession. We then go down the other end of the pitch, and this goal, oh my God, this goal was absolutely fantastic. Moussa Diaby, great work from Luca Dean on the left-hand side, ball into the box, half volley, buries it, 1-1. Fantastic, fantastic goal. I thought the shining light for Aston Villa was Moussa Diaby. I thought he was electric. He looked fantastic. He was a threat all game. He always wanted the ball as well, which was massive. So I thought he had a really good game and a great debut. Right, here we go. So here's the 2-1. So the 2-1 goal. The ball has just gone into the box. We've got Joe Linton, not marked by anybody. We've got Botman, not marked by anybody. McGinn was Botman's man. McGinn let Botman have a free runner. There's 2 players that could potentially get on the end of this cross, and there's not an Aston Villa player anywhere near. Matty Cash has been bumped off the ball or stumbled. Epitomises how we played. There's 2 players here. Pick which one takes the cross. Botman, great cross. Isaac, 2-1. So 2 goals where the defending and the marking was absolutely disastrous. Again, high line. You've even got No Villa player anywhere near Isak. There's a player at the edge here. Villa players are scrambling around. You've actually got Jolinton, Botman, Isak, and that must be, I'm going to say, maybe a Gomes. You've got 4 Newcastle players in front of any Villa player. There's not one Villa player in front of a Newcastle player when that ball goes in. So we've been done on the set piece, and it's frustrating that we've got a set piece coach and the marking is just disastrous, absolutely disastrous. And then another big moment in this game. Moussa Diaby puts it on a plate to Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins has got in front of the centre half. Ollie Watkins is in front of that player. So he's done the hard work to position himself in front of that player. And he scuffs it wide. He could have took a little like a faint touch to set it up and bang it. He could have gone near post. He could have gone far post. And we miss it for 2-2. And we go in at half time. And at half time, I was pretty relaxed at half time. I think Mings has gone off at this point as well, which is just a disaster. How 2 players can pretty much have the same injury in the space of a week, I've no idea. It's such bad luck. It's the football gods just need to give us a break. Like, we may as well be called ACL United because the injuries. I mean, we go back to Wesley. We go back to last season, Carlos, Buendia, Mings, Kamara missed big parts last season, Bailey. These injuries, what's going on? So yeah, I obviously wish Mings all the best and hopefully he can have a speedy recovery, but he literally looks like he's going to be out for the season. So we'll get on to the transfer market after this. And then we made a substitution. Tielemans off for Bailey. I thought, okay, try something in midfield. And I mean, you can't comprehend this. Concept, dilly-dallying, just knock it out, mate. Just knock it out. One of the first things Pau Torres does when he comes on is he just kicks it out for a throw-in. Just kick it out for a throw-in. Just get rid of it. There's times to play and there's times to use your initiative and just get rid of the ball. And I mean, I can't really show you much more on that one. Then again, high line, slide through ball, slipped through here. I mean, it literally looks like a FIFA goal. Then it was just passed to Wilson, and then that one's what's that score? 4-1. High line again. Look at that high line. Standard Harvey Barnes. 5-1. So some sloppy goals towards the end, and like I never want like Villa to give up. I never want Villa to sort of say, you know what, it's 3-1, like just. But some of the stuff we were doing towards the end of the game, the high line, it's just suicidal. Like it was just suicidal, and you know, Cash had a chance. So we did have chances, but I mean, so did they. They could have been 8, 7, 8, whatever. So it's okay saying, oh, Cash had a chance, Coutinho had a chance, but you know, so the game really frustrated. It just didn't feel like an Emery performance. It didn't feel like an Emery team. It was just unlike anything I've seen since Unai Emery's come in. So very, very disappointed. If we have a look at Aston Villa's average passing network from this game as well, you can see the passing network for Aston Villa. Going into Luis, it's going into Luca Dean. if I had to pick up anything, I'm looking at McGinn's position, and I'm looking at what's helping Cash out wide. Like where where's the option here out wide, like next to Cash and Diaby. So yeah, I mean it's gonna not look too great anyway, because for periods that game we were 4-3, 4-1 down. The average positions from this game look like this as well. You can see that Cash is sort of doing that little tucking in phase where I really wanted us this season to go full out and be more flat. You've got the double pivot looking all right there. So the average positions don't really look too bad. This is the expected threat. So our expected threat, again, wasn't actually too bad in this game. We've got where Aston Villa attacked in this game as well. So you can see predominantly down the right, but a bit of both, to be fair. And then you've got the expected threat in this game as well. So, you know, if I had to look at what Emery would have wanted from this game, he'd have wanted Aston Villa to control the ball. And I actually think in the first half we were doing that to an extent. We were controlling possession. Again, the two sloppy goals, but I think first half the plan was actually quite working, to be fair. I thought first half it wasn't that bad. And then the second half just imploded, and like I keep saying, that wasn't an Emery performance, and that's what's really made me really disappointed. Where do we go now in the transfer market? Because towards the end of the game, we saw 3 centre halves on the pitch. So you saw Consa, Carlos, and Pau with a fullback, and I quite like that vibe, but there's no depth there now. Where's your defensive depth if you want to try that? So are we going to have to go in the market? I think we've got to go in the market for a right back. We've got to go in the market for a right back that can play centre half as well. And that would solve so many problems for me. Zaniolo looks like he's coming in as well, so that will help. You've got Ramsey's only about 2.5 weeks away now. You got Moreno coming back. But you just don't want to start a season like that, do you? You don't want to start a season how we have just started that season. It's very disappointing. I was very cautious going into this game. That's why I predicted the 1-1. No one needed to tell me how difficult this game was going to be. And I still think we can have a good season. But it's very frustrating the way in which we played that game, and slightly worrying, if I'm being honest. So, it's you got to regroup and I'm not saying go again. I'm not saying that Brucey phrase. We got to regroup and get our heads in gear, because and switch on tactically fast, and realize those core principles on what we've been working on and the shape of the team, like the awareness, the high line as the problem with the high line is the high line is an advantage now to the opposition, because if they have runners running in behind, they've got that. If you're an opposition manager now, what are you saying? Break through that high line. Break through that high line. Get a through ball through that high line. You've got players that won't switch on, and we've got the opportunity to be in behind. Like, that's pretty easy to break down an Aston Villa defence at the minute. It was that high line. So, yeah. if I look back, I haven't got to look back at the attacking moments at times, because we created chances in the right moments. Like, in the right moment, if Watkins put that chance away at 2-2, like, we're still back in that game. But after that moment, it's like it's just all over the show. Like, they're through on goal loads, and I can't look at the Cash chance and be like, oh, if he puts that away, it's 3-2, because they had so many other chances after that anyway. But at that moment, at that 2-2 moment, when Watkins missed that chance, that's a massive chance in the grand scheme of that game. So we were creating the right chances at the right moments, but it's just some of that defending. Some of that defending, like, yeah, really frustrating. So, yeah, I can't. I don't know what to say really. Like, you guys at home, drop your thoughts, and we'll see what you guys are saying. So, yeah, next content. Not sure on anything tomorrow, maybe, but we'll get a football phoning in. The content will just be another day behind because we're playing on Sunday. So, yeah, there we go. A bitly frustrated. Hopefully, you enjoyed what I've said. Hopefully, you think I've been pretty honest, pretty fair, pretty. I'm not being negative for the sake of being negative at all. Like, like I'm not. I'm just saying what I feel. So, yeah. If anyone can put a positive spin on that, then fly me. I think you're clutching at straws. But yeah. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. Subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment. Up the Villa.